I'm Dataman, the masochistic otaku swordsman, and I'm pissed off! Stay tuned to find out why. This video is a Trainwreckiew. They are reviews of so awful, watching them would be painful. As such, this review will go through it fully, so complete spoilery. And since this is an adaptation, some spoilers to the original might also appear somewhere. You have been warned. Let's begin with the newer adaptation of the 1973's Cutie Honey, which I absolutely love, despite its some technical and storytelling shortcomings. But now we aren't talking about it. We are talking about the adaptation, named Cutie Honey Flash. This adaptation begins with the Panther Claw terrorizing the city and stealing stuff. So far so good. Even though these guys don't look as panthery as before. But who's that guy? Then cut to the lair of Panther Claw. Panther Chora, the Great Mother, is a statue. I don't have any problem with that. And Sister Chill looks fine. But why are there so many roses, and why does Chora already know about the elemental transformation device, even though Cutie Honey hasn't yet made an appearance in this show? She's still a normal fool girl. Well, besides the fact she's a good fencer. Hey, Honey actually looks very good. Maybe I was wrong judging. What are those things? Why are her eyes so white? Normally, the character's eyes look like that only when they are crying. And comedically at that. This design! Seriously, Honey actually looks fine with her eyes closed. But whenever they are open, just... gives me shudders. In this adaptation, Honey's best friend Nut isn't the trigger-happy cool police officer, but rather ditch with pink puffy twintails and greatly increased screen time. Honey is going to meet her father because now is her birthday. How could they make her so grating? And Miharu, the evil teacher, is qualified too. And more annoying. The original she was funnily over the top, and in some adaptations she's just too sadistic to take seriously, but here she's just nagging. And Honey wouldn't take orders from her either. Certainly wouldn't need Tanpei to save her on the first 6 minutes. Honey in this show sure doesn't act like a troublemaker. She's so goody two-shoes, I'm almost about to puke. Honey is going to meet her father on a cliff by the sea. Because Honey arrived first, she has now time to have a flashback while waiting for him. My ears! And is that guy supposed to be Honey's dad? This guy? Is this guy?
Honey, ほら、誕生日のプレゼントだよ。
Honey is distracted from her flashback when her father crashes into the pole nearby.
Honey! Honey! 逃げろ!
Panther Claw has been chasing him. Oh, look at that brave and fearless girl. The good guy from the first scene appears again, and these three escape in his car. Good chase scene. With the cheesiest music possible. You are Hayami Seichi? What? Do these guys look anything alike? Oto-sama is stolen from the car. And then, the midway episode thing that almost all animes have happens. The car crashes into the sea and it's left ambiguous what actually happens to the father. So now, Honey is surely going to heroically rescue his father and... No, she just walks in a forest depressed and goes home only to find her house in ruins. And then she blames for all that has happened God and herself. Not the Panther Claw, mind you. Fortunately, someone comes to stop her crying. I just can't take that design seriously. Look at that. Dark trench coat, flashy shades, long boots, gloves, and white hair long enough to reach her ankles. Oh, sorry, I meant his ankles, of course. The first thing he does is throwing a flower at Honey. Then he gives Honey the powers to transform into the titular Cutie Honey. Honey putting on the accessories triggers another flashback.
Honey, どこにいてもお父様はお前のことを考えているよ。お前は私の愛の結晶なのだ。お前の指先から髪の毛一本に至るまで私の愛が注がれているのだよ。どんな時も忘れないで、ハニー。お前は私の愛の結晶。
Okay, time out. Let's count everything wrong with this scene. Number 1. Honey still sounds very grating as a kid. They probably had the same voice actor do the kid voice and the teen voice. Number 2. How do you go from I don't want to go to school to I love you more than anything in this world? Love isn't something people generally bring up like that. Number 3. That the music sounds like it belongs to a horror movie. Number 4. It fits perfectly. Number 5. I love you. I love everything about you. Never forget that. Do I even need to comment? Number 6. The way he speaks, the way he looks, and the way he kneels over her, even Honey's expression, the fact that no one is around, and the music, all point to this being a rape scene. Honey even said some tears and shudders when the flashback ends, making it seem like it was a very painful memory. Number 7. A rape scene in an anime aimed at the Sailor Moon demographic. Number 8. The scene is between a father and a daughter. Number 9. The daughter is 6 years old. This is the worst scene I have seen in any anime for kids. If it was trying to be sincere, it fails miserably. There are better ways to tell that someone loves someone. They could have even put a still frame where Honey hugs that teddy bear from earlier, and that would have been just fine. If my interpretation of this scene is right, well then you know what is going on. I don't want to say it again. Makes me feel dirty. And in this adaptation, she isn't a robot. If she was, it would still be weird and very uncomfortable. Now it is sick, immoral, and just plain wrong. Back to the plot. It looks like Honey's father dies, but he really doesn't. Some time has passed and the depression is still deep. Honey lays on her bed, deep in sadness, and listens to her father's last call on her pink hearty-heart love phone. Then Honey notices a bunch of flowers and a letter on her nightstand.
追い求めよ。さすれば愛は与えられん。君の父上は生きている。アンサークローを置いたまえ。そうすれば必ず手がかりはつかめる。
生きてる。お父様はまだ生きてるの。
PS 私はいつでも君を見守っている。
Was that supposed to be romantic? Because it didn't sure feel like it. This guy who you first saw on the crispy ruins of your home has access to your bedroom and says that if you want it, you will always know where to get love. And says that he will always be watching over you. What is Honey's reaction? What is Honey's reaction? She names him Twilight Prince. No comment. Cut to Sister Jill being the best character in this show.
はい、ミセス B の飛行船は爆発。拉致していた如月博士もろとも行方不明であります。
それじゃあ、如月が完成させたあの究極のシステム、空中元素固定装置はどうなったの？
それが如月邸も焼き放った後でしたので手がかりもなく。
この愚か者！空中元素固定装置の秘密は全て如月博士が握っていたのだぞ。ここで の装置は永遠に失われたも同然。
Honey's friend Nat comes to see Honey, whose mood is now all better. Then she and Honey go shopping. In middle of it, Panther Claw appears to steal a big diamond and Honey goes to fight them. It is again really childish fight. And there are flowers in Honey's transformations. Actually, let's talk about the transformations. Honey can transform into almost any possible outfit by touching the choker on her neck and shouting, "Honey, flash!" The thing is, these transformations are very fanservice-y, which is to say, Honey's clothes always explode. And then, the show uses different camera angles to show off her amazing body. In the original, I thought that Honey's transformations were really hot and sexy. But here, the feeling I get from watching Honey's transformations is, shouldn't I be watching in the other direction or something? I think the problem is that in this edition, Honey isn't really a person you would like to see naked. I know that adaptations are supposed to take some freedoms with the source material, but this is like having a Sonic game where Sonic is the strongest thing alive and not the fastest. It kinda goes against the key principles of the character, which will make the fans feel cheated on. I rest my case. Only good part is when one thug shoots another. Then Honey just walks away from the bad guy because she doesn't want to fight, the guys who destroyed her home and took her father. What a wimp! After that, there's only a little content in the episodes that follow. The third episode is about wedding dresses. To catch the Panther Claw guys who want to steal the famed design dress, Honey and Seiji have to act like they were a couple getting married. Seiji uses this as an opportunity to try to kiss Honey even though they didn't agree to do that. In this show, there's a running thing where the Twilight Prince tells Honey something she needs to know. Sounds good, right? This aloof warrior who protects this girl who pretty much can't do it for herself would be a pretty good addition to the show. The thing is how he does it. For example, Honey is tailing the Panther Claw. Then Twilight Prince drives past her and says, "If you seek love, you first have to understand what love is." Won't everyone stop harassing Honey already? Or if they don't want to stop, will they even be sexy about it? Either way, don't do it like this. The next important thing to happen is that Seiji's backstory is revealed in episode 7. Basically, when he was out at sea with his dad, the Panther Claw came and killed his dad, and sunk the ship. Somehow, Seiji survived. Soon after, Honey meets Sister Jill.
Cutie Honey だと？
あなたの人生変わるわよ。
そうか。いつも私たちの邪魔をしているのはお前だね。
何？
初めてお目にかかるわね。私はパンサークロー1の B 棒の持ち主、シスターズ。
They battle for a bit, and then Panther Claw retreats. The meeting was very waitful scene, because Sister Jill just has that much presence in this show. Credit is where credit is due, I guess. After one more filler episode, this time about perfumes, it turns out that Twilight Prince also saves other girls at times. Namely, the silly Victorian girl.
見逃すわけにはいかない。
キザなやつだね。邪魔をするつもりかい？やっておしまい。あっ。
Honey's depressed again because no home, no father, and lies in her bed. Then, Twilight Prince, who somehow got her number, calls her. Or maybe it was a trap to lure you into where he is. Honey goes where the call was from with Seiji.
だってきっとプリンス様は私に何か伝えようとしてて襲われたのよ。
Is there any hope with this girl? Got to Panther Claw's lair. Jill is angry that Twilight Prince is meddling with her affairs. Not helping it this new bad guy. I could swear I have seen this guy somewhere. Who could he be? He is the Twilight Prince, 100% certain. How subtle. Honey and Seiji arrive at the Victorian girl's house.
彼の電話壊しちゃったわ。じゃあ、あの時電話が切れたのは分かったら帰って。そしてもう二度と彼に会わないでちょうだい。
吉田前エリカ。
ダーリン、お帰りなさい。
And Twilight Prince is there.
大声を出すなんて君には似合わないよ。
だってダーリンたらなかなか帰ってこないんだもの。私心配で心配で。黄昏のプリンス様。
私が君の元を去るとでも思ったのかい。
When Honey is done crying her big eyes out, talked about the guy with her best friend Nat, gone into the Victorian girl's home again, battled with some Panther Claw. She goes to ask Twilight Prince directly what he thinks about her.
黄昏のプリンス様。私、はっきりさせなきゃ。自分の気持ちをはっきりさせなきゃ。いつもお花をもらって優しい言葉で励ましてくださって。だけど私、わからないんです。私は黄昏のプリンス様の目にどんな風に映っているんだろうって。教えてください。私あなたのことが私。
Huh. I've always thought that you're supposed to ask before you kiss someone. You know, the whole consent thing. The weird thing is, if he asked Honey, would you like to kiss me? Honey probably would have said yes. So what was the point? And besides, I would think it is far more pleasurable to kiss someone who wants to kiss you, because then there wouldn't be all that mess about, no, go away, don't do that. Of course, Honey doesn't do any of that either, but... After that, this review will get a little bit confusing. As you have seen, the quality isn't very good. The thing is, the first 9 episodes are in YouTube and on one other site where I can download from. However, the last 3 episodes were here in YouTube too, but in German dub, and I found the names of all the episodes in the wiki. So maybe I can scrape together everything needed from that information. Here are all the episodes. Notice that the word love is used 11 times in 39 episodes. That's almost a third of the episodes. And if I tried to count how many times Twilight Prince says the word love, well, first of all, I wouldn't be able to because I don't have all the episodes. But if I had, I'd still have to leave that job for my grandchildren to finish. Here are the episodes I have seen on blue. Now, on red, every filler episodes, or episode that I'm fairly certain is a filler episode. I read other parts of the wiki to get a grasp on what is going on, and I will go through the episodes now. I'll yellow everything when I cover it. These episodes are about Honey battling Sister Jill and eventually winning against her. Panther Claw seems beaten. These episodes are about Honey's evil twin sister Misty Honey. There's 3 things wrong here. Number 1. Evil twin is a stupid cliché. Number 2. Is there a need for evil twin for this kind of woman? Number 3. That is a stupid name, for a twin at least. It was the name of one of Honey's transformations in original, so why is the name here now? Okay, according to the wiki, this character's name was chosen with the ball. Yeah, dead serious. The subplot with her goes like this. In the school, a new transfer student appears. She turns out to have same powers as Honey and fights with her often. That is to say, beats her often because Honey can't fight almost any. Then it turns out that they are sisters. Doing a human experimentation with Panther Claw. I didn't know that. These two battle for one last time and Honey wins. Panther Claw attacks and the twin combines herself with Cutie Honey to become a Hyper Honey and dies in the process. Basically a reskinned Honey with more white and more glitter and more power. Oh, and yeah, the Cutie Honey Flash movie also fits into this time slot. I'll review it now because, for two reasons, I don't want to come back to it later. One, it has anything to do with Cutie Honey Flash, and number two, it is only 38 minutes long. Seriously? You call that a movie? I thought that anime movies were all about 1 hour or so, and rest were OVAs, but, well, you learn every day. A lot of these movies, basically. There is this professor who finds out that there is a temple in Mexico that has treasure in it. Panther Claw wants to steal it, and so the professor has to go with Seichi and Honey to stop Panther Claw. The quality is about the same as the show itself, and the only memorable part was when the professor was about to have sex with Honey. I'm dead serious. Honey was having a shower, and the professor went into the room saying, "I'll help us get to know each other better," or something of that sort. Seichi doesn't even try to stop him, and just stands there by the door, and listens to Honey's screams. And then he thinks, "Oh, Honey is underage. I have to stop them." How little balls must Seichi have in this version? Why didn't he even try to stop the professor from trying to do that to Honey? The only explanation I can think of is that Seichi thought that they'd get into trouble as a group if it were known that the professor had sex with underage girl. Does this guy have any morals? I mean, isn't it kind of common courtesy to help your traveling companions from getting raped? At least where I am from. The movie ends as you might have guessed. Panther Claw is thrown back, their minions are defeated, the temple is not revealed to the world, and everyone goes home happy. Oh, another thing. When they were fighting against the minions, the Twilight Prince somehow came there to help. So that means that, in addition to Twilight Prince knowing Honey's phone number, having access to Honey's bedroom, always watching over Honey, he will follow her over an ocean? That is creepy. Is that supposed to be romantic? In fact, let's use some of Twilight Prince's tactics on a real girl and see if they work. Okay, here we go. So apparently they don't. What a surprise. This sub-review is officially over, let's get back to the main one. In these episodes, the school Honey attends is destroyed. Honey apparently knocks up with Seichi and is pregnant with their daughter. Alright. Then we finally get to the last 3 episodes.
Cutie Honey! Herz ist die Heldin, Gartenschlag bezaubernd und schön sieht sie aus. Sie hat die Kraft der Liebe, wenn sie es nur will, wächst sie über sich hinaus.
Because this is on German dub, I will do my best to explain everything that is going on. Honey has finally collected her courage and storms Panther Claw's lair. She fights off a ton of the henchmen with her transformation powers and finally encounters Panther Zora. Or at least a statue of her. She doesn't have her real body in this adaptation.
Hurricane Honey! Mal bin ich eine flinke Reporterin, Scoop Honey!
Mal eine Reiseführerin, Escort Honey. Mal bin ich Aschenputtel, die rücksichtslos mit der Kutsche fährt. Mal eine charmante Dame, die selbst Bösewichte verzaubert, Elegance Honey. Aber mein wahres Ich ist Honey, Honey Flash! Unterschätzt uns nicht, Kleine! Ja! Das Mädchen mit der Kraft der Liebe! Cutie Honey! Durch mich wird sich euer Leben verändern.
Thunder Chora orders Sister Jill to fight Honey.
Zu stark? Ihr seid nur zu schwach, das ist alles, ihr Idioten! Ja! Endlich wird der Transformer uns gehören. Mit ihm können wir erreichen, was wir wollen. Wir werden allmächtig sein wie Gott und die Welt beherrschen. Los, gib auf, du bist in meiner Gewalt, Cutie Honey! Niemals! Roter Pfeil sei! Funkenschnell! Na, verflucht!
Ich werde dich jetzt ein für alle Mal vernichten und dann kehre ich glücklich heim. Heim zu allen meinen Freunden.
Was war das? Honey, in deinem Körper befindet sich der Transformer. Er gehört mir, ich will ihn haben!
Niemals, Pentazora!
This fight is actually pretty good. In many respects, better than the one in the original. I always thought that it was the weakest part of the show. However, the build-up in the original was far better than in here. In their lair, where they sent all of their troops on missions from, there are only 2 more fighters left, besides Jill of course. In the original, Honey fought Sister Jill in Sister Jill's own castle, so it made sense how there were only 4 fighters besides their mistress. Here, there's no excuse. The reason this fight is better is how Sister Jill looks and sounds and fights. And her costume is also far better. Plus the fight is better since she keeps resurrecting. Somewhere along the way, she has lost her right eye, and as a replacement, she stuffed a giant diamond in the socket. Hardcore! Actually, that was kinda exaggerating. I actually thought that was amazing. When I saw it, I hoped that it would have been in the original, so I could trash this one more and press the original more. But everything in this world doesn't go as I want it to go.
Wenn du so schnell am Ende bist, Cutie Honey. Ich bin es, Honey. Ha, deine schärfste Gegnerin.
Willst du mir erzählen, es würde gute und schlechte Begierden geben? Was für gute Begierden könnte ein Mensch schon... Dann stirb!
Sora absorbs Honey, but Honey uses a cute little bow she got from somewhere to fire an ice Sora up and then breaks her into pieces. After that, everyone is happy and goes home.
Honey! No, Honey! Aber wie?
In the last episode, Honey and Seiji get married. Their 3-year-old daughter is with them. Wait, what? Why wait so long? Don't people usually get children after they get married? I mean, many couples have sex before marriage, but 4 years before it? Wiki says that Seiji took care of their daughter while Honey got through the rest of her school. But I still don't understand why wait for 4 years. Oh. Oh! I get it. Before the time skip, Honey was 16, and thus it would have been illegal for Seiji to marry her. Actually, I'll check the law right now. Alright, hear me out. Honey was 16, while Seiji is 26, since in the Cutie Honey 19th manga, that was set 30 years into the future, he is 56 years old. So they might have very well broken the law there. The age where Japanese people can get married is 20. They wait for 4 years. 4 plus 16 is 20. Case closed. Then they just say that their daughter is adopted or something, and everything looks fine to everyone. How sweet! Honey kills Sister Jill, who came to crash the party one more time. And the show is over. You realize this is not a happy ending, right? They'll come back any time. If Sister Jill could resurrect in this little time, she'll do it over and over and over again until you are dead. So happy. And this has been a video about how to piss me off. Before I wrap this up, I'll tell you a few things I found out about this anime while researching. Fact number 1. This anime had 5 writers. Fact number 2. This anime had 169 people working at it. Fact number 3. This anime was produced by Toei Animation. Fact number 4. The makers of this show considered making it 3D CG. In case you are still alive from all that shock treatment, I'll give you my final thoughts on this piece of worthless glittery trash. Here's a tip for all you aspiring anime makers. If your character's dialogue is mostly just shouting others' names over and over again, the audience will hate that character. And turning the first strong independent action girl in anime history into a whiny crybaby who is 16, looks 14, acts 12, and sounds 10 is not a good idea. This anime was made for girls. Seriously! If this is what girls are into, they are freaking stupid pansies! I'm so happy that I'm a man! I get awesome stuff like Berserk, Feast of the North Star, Ninja Scroll, the original Cutie Honey! Oh, I just insulted a girl's demographic. Well, good thing I only like about 7 or 8 of them, and they know I don't mean them when they see this video. So basically, I am Bean Dataman, the artist, the swordsman. Thank you for watching. Actually, really, thank you very much. This video was a pain to put together. I hope it was entertaining. I will see you next time.